Now, the problem for the people who want to have a stopgap funding bill passed, which includes Paul Ryan, the Speaker, is one that we're all familiar with. Republicans lack the votes to pass a stopgap funding bill without Democratic help, because a number of Republicans in the Senate and a larger number in the House refuse to vote for any spending bill whatsoever. That's why there's no money for Zika, no money for flood relief. This is what the Republican Party, the worms who worked their way into the Republican Party and have rotted it from the inside. This is the vote no on everything rule. Everything. The Republicans did try to mollify the Democrats by emphasizing that a $200 million aid program for Flint, not a budget program, an aid program for Flint, is included in a separate water projects measure that cleared the Senate, will be negotiated in the House, where a measure without the Flint money is advancing. And Ryan said yesterday that he believed that the Public Works bill was the proper way to send relief to Flint. This is the insanity, see? Public Works may be a way to prevent further poisoning of 100,000 people and their children and their children's children. But the damage has already been done. Money for relief of what the people in Flint have been exposed to. That is not, under any circumstances, a public works project. That's a crisis, health, on all levels of health, situation that has to be addressed. There are what was the number? 10, 20,000 children who have been exposed to levels of lead toxicity that is going to fuck them up for the rest of their lives. And Paul Ryan said, well, we need to have a public works bill. We're going to build a new water system in Flint and make sure that everybody has new pipes going into their house. That should be the second step. The first step should be providing some sort of financial and a lot of financial assistance to the people who were poisoned because of the Republican administration in Michigan. Maybe they should sell off the Upper Peninsula. Give it to Wisconsin. That's where it belongs anyway. Just sell it off. And take the money and set up trusts for the people whose lives are going to be A, shortened, B, made very, very sick, for the children who are going to be emotionally and mentally hamstrung for the rest of their lives because they drank water. That would be the way to do that, wouldn't it? But this is America. God damn it. So the needs of Flint, Michigan, and the desperation in flood-stricken Louisiana means shit to this capitalist system that we have in place here. It doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean a thing. If it did, something would get done. I keep remembering Katrina. Remember that? I thought, and I live up here in the North Georgia mountains, almost, and watching what was going on in lower Louisiana and Alabama during Katrina, day after day after day, nothing, no help, corpses floating down the fucking street. Thousands of people crowded into the Superdome with the stink and the human waste, and nothing was done. Who was it? Geraldo Rivera, who went down there and stood on a bridge and started, or no, it was somebody from I guess it was, who was it? Who's the guy at CNN? Anderson Cooper. Who was it?
No, it was the guy from Fox, that we were all Shepard Smith, and we were all shocked about it. And the Fox people are going, "Well, Shep, it's probably not as bad as." And Shep's like, "Are you kidding me? People are dying. Yeah. They're starving. There's dead bodies."
Yeah, I think he did that from the studio, though.
No, he was there.
He was there.
He had this nerve out, and he's like, "You people don't get it." It was amazing.
Brownie, you're doing a heck of a job. Jesus Christ almighty. But every time one of these crises comes up, what pops into my head are those images from New Orleans and Point South during Katrina. I can't think of anything in modern American history that could compare to that. We've had disasters before, but we've never, up until Katrina that I'm aware of, have had a disaster on that level that the white power structure, yes, that's exactly what it was. The white power structure said, "Oh, well, shit. We'll get to you. Calm down, black people. We'll get to you." And then Blackwater and Wackenhut and some of these other terror operations in the United States were hired by the Bush administration to go down to Louisiana and relieve people of their guns and kill a few just to let them know that Bush wasn't fucking around. Remember that? Where was the NRA then? I can't remember the NRA screaming and going ballistic about the Bush administration and their gun grab. I just can't remember. Do you remember, Kathy? I don't remember. But Obama and Clinton, they're going to take every goddamn gun in the country and burn them. How do you know that? We just know. But Flint, Michigan is, 80% black. Katrina was a black disaster for the most part. I know there's some white people that got wiped out too. But, all the images you saw on television, do you remember? Of course you remember. Don't you remember? Just lines and lines of black folk begging, screaming for help. Every day, next day, next day, next day, next day. Doing a heck of a job, Brownie.